All right, ready or not, here we come. How's it going, everybody? JT here in the studio, Studio 10-4 Live, back at you with the weekly update for June the 3rd, 2026. It is flying, man. It is flying by. 2026 is, I don't even know if it qualifies as a year at this point. I mean, I know it's not a full year yet, but it's just like, kind of like in an extra fast gear consistently. It's moving along and things are happening quick and time's flying and it just keeps going quicker and quicker and quicker. So hope you guys are doing good. Got a good show planned for you. We got a visitor from our past February 2026 edition. Phillip Couch is in the studio and Phillip's going to be talking to us. I want to hear about this guy. I read his story, heard a lot of stuff about him, see his truck, and just a lot of questions, a lot of things to talk about. And this guy's got a testimony too, man. I'll tell you, I read a little paragraph of it. I don't think that's all of it, but that's certainly a good part of it. So excited to talk with Phillip. Also, we got Dan the Man waiting in the wings, and Farron Miller going to tell us about last weekend's show, as well as Dan, and we'll get the two of them in at the same time. First, we're going to bring Mr. Dan the Man on in.
Hola.
What's happening?
Just sitting here baking in the heat. How about you?
I'm cool, man. Studio 10-4 is it's cool. It's all right. Of course, it's only 78 degrees outside too.
Well, that's nice. We got 90 and decided to opt for a no air conditioning day, so we're sweating it out. We had no power up until about 2 hours ago, so
why bother doing it now? Why bother bringing the air in now, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, we'll just brave it. We'll sweat it out. We'll be all right. Yeah. We got fans.
Well, I the hottest part of my place is the studio, so I've got to kick the air on. And right now, the only air on is in here. The rest of it, it's not on, so it's just a little warm back here, but that's all right. It's nice. Pacific Northwest, right now it's that time of year. You don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Not the case here. We're done with rain for 6 months, and here comes the heat.
Yeah, right. It's the valley, the lovely valley. Well, you're in the foothills, but still, it mimics the valley, right?
We're 5 or 6 degrees cooler than the valley, but it still feels hot.
So you took a little drive this weekend and met up with Annette and Roger, and you got the Trucking for Kids trailer and the Godfather out at the show up in Red Bluff. And what was happening up there, man? How was it? And I'll bring Farron in here in a minute, but first we'll get the Dan the Man editorial on it.
Well, we had a super fun time. I mean, the show is, it's laid back, and it's just, we really look forward to going because it's just a lot of fun. We like that it raises money for Renee, and he's so gracious about it. And honestly, everybody's just so nice at the show. Everybody thanks us for being there. Farron gives us an amazing, great on the grass front row spot. She gets a birthday cake for Shannon, and we all surprise her every year. I mean, pretty soon she's not going to be surprised, but she was surprised this year because her birthday was like 5 days before. But everybody sings happy birthday, and they treat us really well. We have a lot of fun, and the weather was, compared to last year when it was 106 and disgusting and miserable, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, Friday was cool. I mean, you almost could have wore a hoodie when we got there and set up, and Saturday was perfect. I mean, I don't know, low 70s, night, a little cloudy in the morning, then sun kind of with clouds, and had this kind of cool cloud pouring going on, which we don't get in California very often.
Yeah.
And Sunday it was starting to warm up. I think it was in the high 80s when we left, and it's probably even worse now, but because everywhere is heating up.
Well, she's nodding her head. Yeah, we'll get an up-to-date on what's happening down there. It's like, okay, you got the handshake from May to June, left just in time to get out of there before it started really heating up. And, everywhere. This morning we were talking with somebody down in Arizona, and it was 105 down there.
I don't know how they do it. I I used to love summer. I hate summer now. I don't look forward to July and August. It's just 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a pass, man.
Give me spring,
that's why
fall any day. Winter,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay, but spring and fall, give me all day long.
Yeah. My favorite time of year is the spring and the fall when the weather is, shaking the summer off and just welcoming the summer in. And, it's just the beginnings and ends of the hot. And even up here, I mean, we get hot, but not like they do down in Arizona, and not like they do in Red Bluff or Redding or any of that area. That's another just a hot spot. So, all in all, good time though. Lots of nice trucks and
yeah, absolutely.
good folks.
Great people, great trucks. I mean, the trucks were down. I think that every show for the next, I don't know, until the world calms down, till gas prices calm down. I think every show is going to be down. But I, like TFK was down in trucks, but we raised the same amount of money. We raised just as much as we did last year with 75 trucks less. So people stepped up in other areas. And, this show, hopefully I heard people, I heard the DJ announcing random people just donating $5,000. And so a couple people do that, and that'll really make a difference at your show and really make a difference with Renee. And so hopefully a few people did that, and they made some money to donate to him and help him with his care. And, but I mean, same thing with TFK too. Friday was kind of slow. Everyone kind of rolled in slow. And then Saturday, more people kind of came in and filled some more spots up. And, by the end of the day, it was a respectable group of trucks and a great group of people. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Everybody wants to find out more details about TFK this year. The show report is in this month's edition, the June edition of 10-4 Magazine. Be sure and check that out. That and plenty more information, photos, stories, features. Of course, this month's cover from a gentleman down in Arizona. So, he's probably cooking down there today as well.
And while we're on TFK, John, you brought up something to my attention earlier that I forgot to mention in the show report about your live reports and your sponsors. So we want to thank everyone who sponsored John down at TFK and did live remotes. John, go ahead and tell us who that was.
Sure. You got Rogue Truck Body sponsored the light show, Light the Lot on Saturday night. And we had, in fact, the NorCal Spring Fling sponsoring the part co-sponsor of the entire weekend. And and I'm trying to look because I knew I'd draw, you caught me off guard too. Our truck wash partner, and her name, she has a really cool name, man. And
Rave.
Yeah, Rave. Thank you. And that's the New Vernon Truck Wash. Yep. And that is down there in obviously Barstow, well, not obviously, is it?
Right.
Barstow, California. Yeah, and she's actually down there at that location. So every time I call, when I use her card to reach out, she's the one that answers the phone. So great lady, and I appreciate everybody doing their bit to help bring me down there and to bring the show out, obviously, to everybody else. And I hope it had a good effect to bring people and promote the NorCal Spring Fling. I think it did. I mean, we couldn't, I swear I rolled that name off my lips 100 times if I didn't say it once. You know what I mean? So if I did say it once, it was 100 more times coming out. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Dan.
And hello to David Petrie, or Pete, if you say it properly.
Yeah.
He said hello to us, who was the May cover, who is done, and it's already on to June. It went fast, huh, David?
Yeah, look, we got the new trucks on the overlay, and yeah, it's out with the old and in with the new. So yeah, it's kind of something we do around here. Yeah, true. We do that every month around here. It's not that we don't love our guys. It's just that's the way it goes. And David, howdy, buddy. It's good to see you on the show. Everybody, Miss Shannon in here. Jeff, what's going on? Chris, good to have you guys on here. All right, well, listen, I'm going to bring our show lady, our show gal, the blondest cow hauler in California, or abouts. There she is, Farron Miller.
Hi, Farron.
Hi, Dan.
part of team the better looking. Oh, wait a minute. The better looking part of Team Miller and all that goes on in the livestock world out there. So is Phil out working while you're taking care of everything at home?
I think he's actually out in the shop, maybe changing oil or something.
Oh, that's fun. The beauty of being in Red Bluff or in that area, you don't have to run the truck to warm the oil up. It's that way.
Yeah, that's true. Like we've been pretty fortunate to be this far into May, and it's only 92 today and not 102.
Yeah, well,
so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, well, May was last weekend. You're in June now, so
yeah.
Welcome to June.
Well, May was nice.
May was nice.
May was nice.
Great weekend. You did good ordering the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that. I was a little nervous Thursday because it rained, and I had guys calling me and they said, "Hey, we were coming today. We're not coming now. We might come tomorrow." And it poured Thursday night. I mean, poured. So the fairgrounds was pretty wet Friday, and I thought, uh-oh. And those guys still showed up. We had 3 wash guys out in the back washing trucks, and everybody, they still showed up. So I was pretty excited. I didn't take my big heavy jacket off all day on Friday.
That was free dust control. That's all that was.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
That's okay. So obviously you guys got to have fun over there hanging out and celebrating Shannon's birthday, eating birthday cake and doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Farron. That was a beautiful cake, and it's always awesome that you do that. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Look forward to it.
Did 10-4 do a trophy at the show or anything like that? I don't know if we did or not. So
you did not.
Did not. Okay. But you got some good picks, and we got some good picks and things to share later on after we get around to that point and do the show report.
Oh, is that a question? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of course.
Yeah.
I do my job.
All right. Just checking.
Between all the other stuff.
Yeah. All right. Dan, we're going to let you go, and we're letting Farron have her way with us for a bit, and then we're going to bring Phillip in so we can round out the show. Appreciate you taking the time out today to
Thank you.
to
and
join
again, thank you, Farron, for all the hospitality you show. We always have so much fun out there, and I want to give special thanks to Roger and Annette. We love working with them at the show, and we just love hanging out with them. And I got to see a bunch of family that lived in Chico I haven't seen in 15 years. They came out, a couple cousins and an aunt, and they had never been to a truck show or never been to anything like that. And they walked around. I gave them the 10-cent tour in the golf cart, and we had a lot of fun. It was great catching up. So that was sort of added a special element to Saturday. And
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was good. So
well, thank you guys for being there. I mean, we always absolutely look forward to having you guys there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we love being there. So, all right, man.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
If there are 2 words you had to share with everybody, what would they be?
2 words?
Yeah, go rodeo.
Go rodeo. You were pointing at Trucking for Kids. That's 3 words. I don't know.
Oh, really? So is that rodeo?
There you go.
That's crazy. So it's the opposite on
there
my
you
screen.
Go.
Well,
like, is it a test? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Anyway, hey, listen, I'm saying it. Go rodeo. Get ready, folks. November, plan on it now. Get that one marked down on the calendar because it's coming. It'll be here before you know it. In fact, I talked to CG Souza today, and they're already freaking out. You know, it's the windup right now. The pitch ain't happened, but the windup's happening right now to get ready for their show.
And we're doing that too. We were making notes in the car on the way home.
All right. 10-4 Trucker Rodeo.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good show.
Bye.
Say hi to Phil for me. Have a great one.
All right. All right, Farron. Good job, man. I hear you killed it this weekend, and the show just went off, and everybody had a good time, and Frenchie did good. I heard Frenchie was feeling it, so things went well. Yes?
Yeah, it was a wonderful. It was a wonderful show. I really was nervous Thursday about. I mean, the way it was raining, I was like, "Oh my God, nobody." I mean, nobody's gonna come. Like this is not good. The front parking lot started getting flooded, and my Phil Miller he parked trucks on foot for my God, I don't know how many hours his feet were blistered, but I'll give it to him because we had to argue for a minute because I didn't like the way he was parking the front row and he lined everybody up like this. And then he had a method to his madness because of the mud, and it worked out wonderful. But he did really good at keeping all those trucks out of the mud, and everybody was just really happy. I was super excited that Renee got to come spend. Gosh, I think he was there 4 or 5 hours this year. Last year it was so hot it was like 45 minutes and he had to leave.
Yeah.
And this year I think he partied too hard. I don't know. He stayed and stayed, and we had the auditorium rented this year and he was in there and everybody just enjoyed. It was really, really nice, but it was nice to have Renee there and enjoying the show this year.
I think that's the first time in the years and whatever version of this show for Renee I've ever heard rain and mud mentioned in the same sentence as this show.
Yeah,
So.
I know. I was like, my hair got frizzy. Like, it just wasn't a good look.
Well, our guest that we've got waiting to come in, he's in Tennessee. So if you go back to Tennessee, you're going to get that every day, I think, right?
Well, I live in California for the hair.
Right. It's there.
Humidity. But yeah, Friday, it was actually cold. And I had the bounce house with the water slide for the kids. And I did not turn that water on it on Friday. It was way too cold. And then Saturday, mid-afternoon, it warmed up and we had, oh my gosh, 20, 30 kids on that water slide all day. And then the adults actually turned it on in the middle of the night, as I heard that, and enjoyed it as well. So
there's one of the former attendees there, and that's Gary Jones in the audience right now in the house. And Gary was out a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, maybe it's 3 or 4 years ago now, huh, Gary? And a bunch of other guys, Gary and Jacob, and just a bunch of those guys from that circle that came out to be at the show there and show support. That was a good one too. I would hate to say it, you're taking a breath right now from this one, but already planning 2027.
Oh, absolutely. Probably stick with the same dates. Yeah. It's kind of a hard weekend because you've got graduations going on and the end of school and Memorial Day weekend, but it's kind of the only thing because it's so risky moving it into the later fall because it's just so hot. And so like right now, like we dealt with, I'm not going to complain about the rain. It got so wet Thursday night. I was a little nervous how we were going to put some bobtails in on the lawn, but it was actually fantastic. Yeah. Everybody's hard work and their polish and stuff stayed nice. We had a few wheels that got few tires that got some mud on them, but yeah, we had wash crews just banging it out. It was absolutely amazing. In fact, we had oh gosh, what's his name? It's T.L. Ehlers, I think, out of Lawrence, Iowa, that came clear out here, and he actually won the farthest distance traveled show, and he utilized the wash guys, and so it was good. It was a really good show, I think. The numbers were up from last year. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, we had I broke it down. We had a total of 116 entries, and 88 of those were trucks this year. So
okay.
Well, I had a few cars, classic cars and stuff showed up, and we had a lot of bikes, and yeah, it was pretty good. Really good show.
Honestly, Farron, I think at this point this year, especially this year, at this time this year, whatever works, man, whatever you can bring in to get people in the gate, get vehicles, and I mean all 4, 18, 10 wheel, whatever in the gate. I think at this point,
it was weird. The traffic, Phil was saying, so busy, I really didn't get to get out front and see a lot, but he said on Saturday, the foot traffic was just insane. He said that front parking lot was packed all the way out to the gates, tons and tons of spectators, but you go through that, it ramps up and down throughout the day. And then when the sun goes down, they all come back in and, but I drove through there quite a few times and we had trucks shoved clear to the back gates of the fairgrounds. And so from the front, you're like, oh, there's not a lot. And then you get to the back and we had just a lot of, I thought we had a lot of trucks in there. We actually had a lot of pretty big iron, if you will. I mean, really, really nice trucks that came this year. So that was fun to see.
Well, I'll tell you, she's something that I learned this year at Mid-America, and that's that, man, does the weather have everything to do with everything, because
absolutely,
it was just the most incredible Thursday all day, period. I mean, but Thursday night, for the Thursday night light show competition, you know, whatever the temperature was, I don't know, but I'll just tell you this much. I mean, everybody's wearing shorts, tank tops, t-shirts. You know, it's perfect summertime, but it's not summertime. So that place was the most packed I'd ever seen it, ever, at the Paul K. Young. You know, it just was slam bam packed, man. And the weather will bring people out, especially up in your area where people take advantage. They know to get out when it cools off. It's like, right. Yeah, get out. If it's cool outside, enjoy it while it lasts.
Exactly. And so, we lost people last year because of the heat. You know, and especially a lot of the ATHS trucks, you know, they're like, oh, we're not coming. It's just, rightfully so. It's hard on everybody, the young ones, all of us. And then this year, you know, some of them opted out with the rain. But gosh, it was beautiful weather. And I've never, ever worn a hoodie at night in May in Red Bluff. And I had hoodies on when the sun went down. So that was fun. That's my kind of weather.
So what's going on out here in this?
I know. I'm cranky when it's hot. So.
Oh. All right. Well, listen, thanks for taking a moment and dropping in and sharing. Any messages from Frenchie? I'm sure he's very happy and thankful, but anything to share with everybody?
Just a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Like I said at the awards, if it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to put this show on. Casey Liddell with Cascade Heavy Rescue donated or did a $5,000 sponsorship, and he is partnered with Aurora. They are going to match that sponsorship. And then for any person that signs up through Aurora, which I believe it's through his YouTube channel, they're going to donate $10 to Renee's medical fund from that. So that was a huge blessing to the show and to Renee. And he was on cloud nine all weekend, just getting to be there, and very thankful for everybody and their support.
Something I think, and you know, maybe this is acknowledged, maybe it's not, but let me just get it out there. And that is, the show obviously is there to benefit Renee and offset care for him during the year. And I just want to let people know, hey, you can donate to him anytime you guys want. You don't have to have a truck show. If you ever feel like you got a moment that, you know, there's that still small voice telling you to do something for somebody, think of Renee LaChance. And you guys out there that know him and know, you know, this is one of us, one of our guys, and had an unfortunate set of circumstances given to him. Help him out if you can, anytime, anyway, right?
Yes, his GoFundMe is linked on the NorCal Spring Fling website, and you can get on there and you can scan his QR code to go read the story of his accident. If you just scan it with your phone, it can pull that up, and then you can donate right there on the website, whatever amount you would like. I'm getting donations in almost every day.
Awesome.
So that's how
if you have that handy and you want to put it in the comments here, you are welcome to do so. Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. I'll handle something later and put it in there. Okay. All right, Farron. Thanks. Say hi to your Phil, and you guys take care. Take care of them kids. You guys stay cool, huh?
All righty, John. It's good talking to you.
All right, Farron. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farron Miller, everybody. Listen, the young lady's doing a good job taking over to run and help this show succeed. So many blessings and well wishes upon her and everybody else that is involved to help this show do good things for our buddy Renee LaChance. All right, so listen, everybody. There's this guy that I keep running across in name, and I see his truck. I see people, you know, talking about him or pictures and stuff on social media. And then especially this year at Mid-America, I felt so bad because I was not able to get over to him and to a lot of other folks on that front row. Y'all know who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. If you were in Louisville at Mid-America at the Paul K. Young Truck Show Beauty Championship this year, and we were laughing at the beginning of the show because I felt like there was a John repellent, like a gate keeping me out from that one front row of trucks. Couldn't get past J&L, couldn't get past Luke, couldn't, nobody up there on the big rig build off guys. Once I was around those guys, it was like they lassoed me, kept me from going any further than them. But anyway, I'm bringing him on today, and I kept threatening to do it, man. Today, here he is. Phillip Couch, everybody. Hey, Phillip.
Hey, how's everyone?
Well, everybody's doing all right, I guess, right now. We're looking at a few guys. Bill, by the way, thanks, Bill. I saw your photos. Appreciate you sharing those, and always good to have everybody that attends a show share what they've got and post them up on social media. All right, man. So listen, Kasey did the story on you and your truck back in February, and I saw this truck, and I was telling this to Dan. I said there was just something about this truck. And first of all, the colors, very much, and this is a good thing, remind me of Not Daddy's Money, Gary's old truck, and I just couldn't get past that. It was like some kind of a mind thing, my brain just was like, what am I looking at here? And then finally I just kept staring at it. And then I looked at all the graphics, read the story. So I get it. My brain's still playing tricks on me. My eyes are tweaking my brain, I guess. I don't know. But, and then of course it's a Freightliner.
Oh yeah.
So, it stands out there in the realm of like, not too many guys do cool Freightliners, but you did. And, I'm sitting here looking. In fact, I'm going to bring this picture up right now. This is of you and your lovely wife here, and looking at the double J brackets on a Freightliner. Those weren't made for a Freightliner, but they're on one.
That's it. There's a lot of things that probably wasn't meant for that truck that actually got put on that truck.
I'm going to say you're probably right, because here's the thing, man. It's sort of one of those trucks that just kind of got skipped over by all the aftermarket guys as far as making cool stuff, and what's out there, you're lucky to find it, especially nowadays, man. It's just, hey, Carrie, good to have you on the show.
Love you too, Gary. I appreciate you, brother.
It's a tough truck to find a fit for. How's that? You have to look, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want to back up. When did you get into trucking?
I got into trucking in 2001, legally. But, all throughout my younger years of growing, we drove without CDLs and everything. Family members let me go with them, let me drive. And I just thought that was the greatest thing, coolest thing a man could ever want to do.
Well, that's just how it was done back in those days, right? I mean, I've told stories myself on here about such things, but it's just how it was. So you got in around 01, and that was legally. So you've been around the trucks, you know what's going on. So what did you do? Did you go get your own authority, or were you running local? What did you do?
No, in 2001, I run for a company out of Springdale, Arkansas, Cannon Express. They shut down, and I come home and drove for a company named Teton, and then I drove for a local guy here for a while, and then my brother-in-law, he had a dump truck business, so I drove for him, and then in 2018, the door kind of opened for me to buy my own truck, and that's when I got my very first truck. It was mine, the one that you see now, New Testament, and then in 2021, God opened the door and allowed me to open up Couch Trucking LLC.
So trucking, trucking's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. If you are all in on it, and you are, it's 24/7, man, especially if you got multiple units and drivers and all that. You're constantly, like this with phones and radios, and, I get it. I've been there, done that. So, in the beginning, was your faith a part of you, or had that yet to come?
My faith didn't come till 2004. That's when I realized I was lost. God opened my eyes and let me know where I was headed, and I had to turn my life around. And then in 2010 is whenever I was struggling real hard about being still a young Christian, still trying to find my way. That's when he opened up the verse like I have on the back of the truck, John 8:12. Everybody asks me all the time, why not this verse or this? And well, that particular verse is the one that helped me, fall earth being light and never walk in darkness, and at that time I was trying to figure out how a guy like me lived and done the things I'd done can be saved and doing what I do. And when I seen that, and when you read it, up on the first part of that chapter, it's about the woman caught in adultery, and the Lord said, "He without the first sin cast the first stone." And it kind of showed me it didn't matter where I come from; that was all behind me in the dark. Now I was in the light, and I didn't have to worry about it no more, and I could just be who I wanted to be, and that's just kind of where it all took off. And over the course of that time, I mean, God just opened doors from 2010 on in different directions for me. And here we are today. And, and I still want to give him the glory for it all. I tell everybody all the time, it's nothing I done. It's all he done. I just get to be part of it and be part of the ride that he's set forth for me.
So up to that point, had you been baptized before, or was this your first time?
No, I got baptized when I was 18-year old. I was at a church. I felt God pulling at my heart, but I wouldn't move. And we was in a revival. And, you know, uh, a lot of people says that you can be saved this way and that way. And, you know, uh, I went up to the altar finally and I prayed, but I tell everybody this all the time. When you pray, you feel better. No matter if you get saved or not, you feel better because you get stuff off your chest. And when I got up, everybody's like, "Oh, you've been saved," and I was like, "I have." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, you gonna be baptized?" I was like, "Well, yeah." Well, the following week, I was just back out doing the same bad things I was prior to that. So I was like, did I really get it? And then, you live that faith life for several years of, people's told you you're saved. And then in 2020, in 2004, when God really opened my eyes and let me know that I was far from it. And so I'm glad he did. I'm glad I listened to that warning and I took it to the heart.
Well, ultimately, it's up to us as individuals once we do or do not get baptized. Either way, the only way through to our Savior is through baptism. And then once that's done, then it's ultimately still, again, it falls back on us to figure it out and follow his law and our hearts and the Holy Spirit to get us where we're supposed to go. Not necessarily always where we want to go, but where we should be going. And that's, there's a lot of different messages and faith that tells you a lot of different ways to get there and different things. We're all following similar and same instructions. Some say, hold on to the rod and it'll take you where you need to go, and it's following the Spirit. So my interest in you on this is that being baptized, you were, and you had that done. You had it done again, obviously.
Yes, sir.
And an immersion through baptism. At that point, what changed for you? What did you feel came over you that said, okay, now I get it?
The things that came over me is, my whole lifestyle changed. The way that I was living, and and just a new feeling inside. Like the old me was gone and it was a new me inside. And it's kind of what happens when the blood washes you. You become new. A new that's I always tell everybody I've had two great births. When my mom brought me into this world, and then the best birth was when God saved my life. And that was my new start to my life. That was the chapter whenever I got to rewrite my story the way I wanted to. A lot of times people let everybody else write their story, and growing up, being lost and stuff, everybody writes a story about you, in school. I remember people saying, well, you're never going to amount to this, and you're never going to amount to that. You're going to wind up here or there. And, a lot of times I believed it. I thought, well, that, I'm never going to amount to anything. But, when God comes in and rewrites that new story and you start to follow along what he's got planned for you, things begin to work out and come together a lot better. And, my lifestyle, just everything changed inside. I guess the hardest thing I ever had to do after I got saved was, what true love is. And I had been telling my wife, because we got married in 2001, and been with her since 2019, and having to go back to her and say, I thought I loved you then, but now I know what love really is. You know, took a special kind of woman to take it, and to be able to tell her that and know what real love was, was a big change in my life.
Well, it's interesting, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and a lot of it, I think, look, we have our faith, we have our family, we have our business, our work, our lifestyle, all these different parts of our lives, and I like that you taken your truck and made it a light out there for other people to see and hopefully gain strength and vision and clarity from, that things like this can happen, and you can have it happen to you. My message of building a truck and the way that I did was on those terms. I did it because I could, but I wanted other people to realize that anybody could do it, man. I never put myself above anyone, and wanted everybody. I felt like everybody, we were all on the same field, man, so
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't anybody else do it? Now, I mean, I do realize later on in life, and I have realized that not everybody has the same skill sets. So maybe we need to help each other to get there, and we can all have the same or get to the same places, but it definitely takes help from one another to achieve sometimes what one individual cannot. So here you are now, and after talking to you today, you've got some other projects in the wind and things that are happening, and your olive branch is extended out now to the next generations. And I'm gonna you tell that story, and I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring the pictures up with it. Okay.
Yeah, my son, my oldest son, he's been with me now for a little over 2 years, going on 3 years, I think. And my youngest son works for us too. We've started a family business, and a lot of people like Gary and a lot of them out there, they know my story. And whenever we show up at the shows, it's always been me and my family, and we try to treat everybody as family. And my boys have really worked hard for me, and when we go to shows, they really put their time in. And then my oldest son's like, Dad, I want a truck built. And I was like, well, it ain't time yet. So I made him put his time in and work for it. And so is my youngest son. And now we're in the process now of putting my oldest son's truck together. We're trying to get it ready to reveal it this year. We just got that floor put in today. That's what we was working on whenever you called, was putting the fiberglass flooring in from Talladega that they sent to us to put in the truck. We've got it throughout the whole truck. We still like a long ways. We're just trying to fit everything back in and get the truck together. And I sent you some other pictures there, that stuff that's been put on. And Talladega's helped us a lot with a lot of things. Their shock boxes, their panels, and different things to help us get this truck going for my son. And he was down there today helping me get it together, and another young man that works for me. So we're trying to get this truck built and get it ready for paint. And then we got another one coming right behind it for my youngest son. That right there is a 2001 379 short hood car hauler that we had bought. And he there for a while, he thought he wanted a different truck, and finally he said, Dad, this is the one for me. This is the truck I want." And we put the fenders on it and just different things for him. And this is our new project. It's going to be coming out here soon. It's got its own backstory with it. I may tell a little bit of it, but I don't want to take it away from him, because I want him to have that story to go with his truck.
We'll possibly have him on and let him share with us what it is after this truck gets out on the road, and and starts doing what it's designed to do, man. So congratulations. I'm glad to hear that you're part of the group, the people, the men that are bringing their young sons or other people along. Period. I don't, you don't have to be related to anybody to extend
No.
the arm and the hand out to people to bring them along. And I hope guys realize that, man. There's a lot of guys out there that would love to get involved in what we do and don't have anybody to bring them along. So listen, if you ever have anybody out there has a inkling of giving of their time and energy and resources to help this younger generation out and get them headed in a good direction, do so, man. Make it happen.
There's a lot of young men out there that's got really good talents that they just need to be pushed that way. Like the young boy works for me now. He's very talented, and he's come a long way since he's been working for us. And it's just helping and passing it on, and letting other people be partakers of it. That's what we're here for, is to help one another all the way. And I told a lot of people, if that's building trucks, if they need my help, holler. I'll come do the best I can. I'm not the smartest, but we'll try.
Hey, man, you know what? They say like possession's 9/10. Well, trying's pretty much everything, because without any effort, you go nowhere, man. So,
That's it.
yeah, you got to get out there and get her done. So, inside, looking at the cab of this here Freightliner, she's a Freightliner, man, but she looks good, dude. Way to go! I like it.
I appreciate that. Flooring there is kind of my own touch there. That's the laminated flooring like you put in your house, and it's got epoxy on it that you put on countertops. And we poured a layer of epoxy, and then I thought, man, I want to put some orange in it just so it ain't just clear. And I put a paint stick and dipped it in the orange, and I thought it was going to do something different. Man, it just went all through the truck, and I just let it run, and it's actually turned out pretty cool. I mean, something that you never would have thought we could have done. And then we put another layer of epoxy over it and sealed it in good and tight. So, I mean, that's just an old paint stick with paint on it and just letting it do its tricks and just watching it work.
It worked, man. It came out. Dan mentioned Kasey, and I know we did earlier too. I thought about giving her a call, and um, I haven't spoken in a while, so we'll have to reach out. We'll have to see what's happening. I haven't talked to Kasey in a while, but still a regular contributor here at 10-4. You get a lot of folks on the radio. Are you on the CB?
Yeah, we're on the CB. I get people hollering at me all the time when we're going up and down the road, and they'll say, "Hey, there's New Testament," and I mean, they knew the truck before they ever, I guess, see anything else. They see it coming from a long ways away, and they don't know who it is.
That's another part of what we do that I wish people would embrace a little more is at least keep the radio on, man. If you can offer information out there and share what's going on the road, if somebody needs info, be there to queue up the mic and key it up and give the info out. Trucks like this is always fun. People are always wanting to talk to guys like you, right? I mean, especially you never know, man. Somebody looks at you and says, "That's a verse I need to hear." Obviously you did, because it spoke to you, and here it is, right?
That's it. And, a lot of people ask me a lot of different times, why I didn't have the actual verse on the back of the truck. And I said, well, the reason I never did it, I said, because if it was there, you'd read it and that might be it. I said, but if you got to go search it, you might find what you're really needing or what you're really looking for and be a help to you that way. And they're like, never thought of it that way.
Look at you, missionary on the road.
But yeah, I met Kasey and down at Biloxi, Mississippi. That was the first time I ever met her, and she came up to me and asked to ride about the truck and
Yeah.
take pictures. And I felt very blessed to have that opportunity and to be on 10-4. I mean, it was just, that's something everybody dreams about, but you just never think it's happening your way. And as you see in the floor there, you can see that cross necklace. That's cross is there. One of my drivers' son bought that for me, and he asked his mom, he said, New Testament's in the Bible, isn't it? And she told him, yeah. So he took his own money and went and bought that necklace, and he brought it to me, and I told him it'd always be part of the truck. So we thought the best place to put it was right there on the Bible when we put the epoxy over it and seal it in and let it be there. So
Nice.
you can touch the different people of all ages if you just be who you need to be and have a good heart about you.
I'm just sitting here looking while you're talking. It's showtime for me over here on the other end. You got yourself a Detroit underneath the hood, so that's okay.
Yes, sir.
You know, a Detroit with cat envy.
Well, it's actually supposed to be orange, but it kind of looks yellow
It
sometimes,
does.
I guess, because we didn't put the color on it. We was trying to tie it in so it all looked right and, do something different.
It grew up a Detroit, but it matured into a caterpillar, man.
Yeah, it just took its time, maturity level come along the way.
Yeah, that's all right, man. That's all. We all want to grow up to have kitty cats. Talladega, way to go. They're putting it together for you. Got some nice lights. I've featured this on our Friday Night Lights on our social media a couple of different times, man. Always good to look at. I love that shot.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. The way everything tucks in and Talladega brought everything together, and the lights on it. Just, I mean, it's unreal the picture that you get with that truck setting like that.
Well,
and that's the Bible verse.
There you go. There you go. Let's talk a minute about Mid America 2026. So, best of show. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was a very big honor. That's something when everybody strives to do. I remember the first year when we went, we didn't know anybody or no one hardly, and we just put the truck together. We didn't have it all the way, but I promised people I'd be there, and I got the judges come out and they was pretty harsh on me, and but I'm glad they was. A lot of people takes the criticism that they're giving you the wrong way, but a lot of times when they're giving it to you, they're giving it to you to help you, and if you'll just receive it that way, man, they can help you come a long ways. And we started at the back row, and then we come from the back row in 2024, and then in 2025 we was the second row behind Mr. Troy Massey and all them big trucks. And I was like, boy, that's a row right there. And one of Troy's guys came over to me and said, oh, you're in $1 million corner. I was like, well, I'm way out of my league here. And but we had a great time, and we won in 2025 up there. We won third place engine, and then we come back this year, and after the judges talked to me and told me a lot of things, we came back this year with a whole new mindset that this was the year we was going to give it the whole thing and clean it and do the best we can. And I've had a lot of help from Gary Jones and Jacob Bonham and Evan Stagger. They've all jumped in and really helped me and pointed me in a lot of good directions to do. And watching Gary Jones and them guys show for years, and watching the way they do things will help you if you'll just watch them and listen. Sometimes it's good to be quiet and just listen to them, and they can guide you in the right direction if you'll just listen to them. And I appreciate Jacob and Gary and Evan all for helping me. And then this year when they announced us as best of show, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know to jump for joy, cry, or really what to do, because I mean it's something I was in shock on. I wasn't expecting to see that happen anytime soon.
I think you got it right. All the above. Good bunch of guys to have in your corner. Obviously, have all done real well over the years in the truck show circuits, and always bring a gamer to the show, for everybody to look at, see, and appreciate. To look, a lot of guys you ain't got a Freightliner. I mean, you ain't got a Peterbilt, or you ain't got a Kenworth. You ain't got, what? Well, there's been trucks in my experience over the years that I've liked and appreciated, and they were neither of those brands of trucks. Okay. Just saying. And this is one of them. And there's some other ones out there too. And, to each his own, man. Do what you do, be you, and do your thing. And, look at the Goose, man. I that truck just, it's like the never ending project. I don't know if they're ever going to stop on that thing. It's just like, I think it's in constant flux, but I mean, not everything is for everybody, but find what you like and go with it. So
Well, we built that truck because that was the first truck I ever purchased. That's the one that started the
and
whole
that's
thing we
cool.
doing.
And that's
And
cool. I
yeah,
like that.
and then when we took the truck to first get it all done, and to get it painted, I was going to paint it pewter metallic gray. That was the color. And
Yeah.
after I left, I got know right real quick that that wasn't the color it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be painted the pearl white, and I didn't understand it for the longest time. And I was trying to figure it out on my own. And a deacon of the church called me and asked me to come over, and I went and sat on his back porch with him one day, and he's like, "Do you know why I called you over here?" And I thought, "No, I'm probably in trouble about something here." He said, "No, no, no." He said, "I heard you was painting your truck pearl white," and I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, how come you was telling all of us you was doing this other color?" I said, "Well, that's the color I wanted." I said, "But it seemed like that wasn't the right color." And and he sat there and he said, "Well, let me explain something to you." And he started talking to me, and that, which I didn't know it back at that time till he told me. But Johnny Cash always sung about the man in black, and that truck started out as black. And then when Johnny Cash got saved, he sung and talked about the man in white. And it's kind of amazing how that truck went from black to white. And I began to sit thinking about it. I was like, that's kind of how we are too. When we're lost, we're black, and then whenever we get saved, we're white as snow. And it's amazing how God can clean things up like that, and use it in different ways for his glory.
Well, I don't think Johnny Cash changed his appearance. He was always the man in black. So I know because I grew up a Johnny Cash fan. When that guy came on TV, my dad would go, "Hey, your buddy's on TV," and I guess my dad got a kick out of how much I loved Johnny Cash. So no matter what TV show, and back in those days, man, there was 3 channels on TV, and that was it. And if you saw Johnny on, it was probably Ed Sullivan or one of them variety shows in those days back then. But our way of presenting ourselves, and yours, mine, and many others in our circle that put something real nice out there on the road for everybody to see, I think is there's nothing wrong with it, and I think that everybody appreciates it, and I know that in business, when it comes time to hire somebody, they're going to hire that truck that we're looking at right there 10 times over somebody who doesn't take care of their truck, just because it makes everybody look better. I mean, the guy that hired you, the guy that's getting his load hauled, and you and him, I mean, everybody looks good. So I always say this, when they deserve it, man, you're making us all look good, Philip. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it greatly. And that's what I said. You mentioned something there a minute ago about it not being like a Peterbilt or a Kenworth or something.
Sure.
And when I first was putting that truck together, I got told that a lot, and I was kind of iffy about it at first. I was like, "Oh boy, here we go. We're going to enter this big world with the Freightliner," and and like I said, coming into it, and like Gary Jones and them, they all stepped in and really supported me in ways that I can't even begin to thank them enough. And that's what kind of industry we really are in out here, and people don't understand it. See it. It's the camaraderie that you have between brothers and sisters out here, and spending time together, and listening to them, and and them helping you, and and build something that you want to build, and if you'll put your heart into it, and everything, it'll be recognized. It may not be right
Well,
away, but it will be. I mean, it just takes time, and and I'll never forget, we was in Nacogdoches, Texas in 2024, and I was sitting on the Gary's Lowboy, and we was all just started talking, and I said, "Well," I said, "I don't think I'll go back to Matt's this year." I said, "This is probably my only year." And Gary looked at me and he said, "No," he said, "This is your time. It's time you do what you need to do." He said, "We're all family." He said, "You're part of this family, and we welcome you and we love you." And those words hit me at home. And when I left Nacogdoches that day, that came home, I told my wife, I said, with people like that in my corner, there's nothing we can't do. And and him and Jacob both supported me so much more than I could ever thank them enough for.
well, the right place at the right time with the right people, man. Good things can happen. Not everybody gets that I don't know, that moment, and that's why I keep saying, you know what, guys, it's up to us that are not so much struggling, because there are those that are.
Yes.
So look out and find those that are and help them and bring them along. I can't say it enough. So, Phillip, I think you're doing that. I think your truck is a light to others, and that's what I appreciate about you and your truck both. So, yeah, your Carrie's chiming in right now as well, and I agree, Carrie, 100%. Phillip, thanks for taking the time out today, man, and hanging with me and chatting. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Honored to be on here. I always thought about it, but I thought it probably never happened. And then I joined the show, and he was like, "Oh, we need to get him on here." And Gary sent you my information, and then I was like, "Okay, here we go." And then it kept going, and I was like, I told my wife that, so we'll watch 10-4 again tonight. I said, and John's probably gonna say, "Well, Phillip, I'm gonna get with you." I said, "And someday it will." And then the day you called me, as I was taking a break from working on the truck, so it's pretty awesome.
All in God's time, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
along for the
sir.
ride too. You got to know that, right? I
Oh
am.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's the best part about it, just go along for the ride. And, I tell everybody all the time, God owns the truck. I just get the privilege of driving it and taking it to shows for him. So, this is the road he got for me. And, and to me, pass it on down to my kids, and hopefully I can be an influence to others as well than just my kids. And, maybe be a help, and see other people take this over and do stuff. And, I kind of mentioned we just got back from Woodstock, Canada, up there, and we won People's Choice and second place up there in Best of Show. And I told them up there, this right here may be the farewell tour for New Testament, showing as much as it has been. It's time me pass the torch on to my kids, and maybe me let them lead something. And I'm still going to go around and be part of it. This is something I love. I loved every bit of it, and I'm definitely not going to leave the show scene anytime soon. But maybe not show the truck as much, so I can go and visit more people. When you get them shows and you're working cleaning them trucks, you don't get to visit people a lot, and I like to start visiting
No.
more people.
Well, at least not till rag's down and you're judged.
That's it. Until that point, you're all deck on right there.
All right, Phillip. Take care of you and your family. God bless you. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. All right, everybody. Phillip Couch again. If you want to read Phillip's story as was written and put together by Kasey Aslinger, check it out. February 2026 edition of 10-4 magazine. It's there for you and waiting. It's in the archives, as is every other magazine that we've put together and had out since I think we go back to 2002 online. The archives are there and available. Covers, features, all of it. Show reports, man, there's some awesome show reports. Go back. You want to take a trip back in time in the time capsule, Peabody set the Wayback Machine, and go check it out, man. It's there for you. So listen, everybody, JT here, and I'm signing off. 10-4 Studio 10-4 Live, that is, and it is the weekly update. Gonna go check out the basketball finals, man. They're engaged right now and happening. Want to go watch that. Kind of been into it this year, even though I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, just from default by being there for so many years in that area. But De'Aaron Fox is on the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm rooting him on and hoping that Spurs do well. I'd like to see that happen. New York, boy, I'll tell you, they're wanting this championship in the worst way. Well, we'll see what happens. The New York Knickerbockers, we'll see. Listen, everybody, if you didn't catch the show this morning, go back, check it out. It's up and available. We had a good one this morning, and we'll be back again next Wednesday, if not sooner, with something for you. New magazine is out. I don't have a copy to show and share with you yet. Mine is making its way north to me from down south. So if you haven't subscribed to 10-4 magazine, well, why haven't you? Get yours in the mail every month, just like I do. In fact, I do have my copy of last month. Get yours today. All right, everybody. JT here signing off. Keep the shiny side up. We'll see ya.